Today, we're talking about scooters and how I just bought what I think is the best two-stroke scooter money can buy. It's actually right back there. Take a look. This is my 2005 Piaggio Typhoon that I recently acquired for $900. And I want to show you why this is a bike that every two-wheeled motorcycle enthusiast should have in their garage. But first, there's something that needs to be addressed. Scooters like this one are not popular in America, and often they're the laughingstock of the motorcycle community, and I want to find out why. Believe it or not, scooters are actually the best-selling type of motorcycle in the entire world. But here in the United States, you would never know. I mean, the only people I see riding scooters here are Meemaw and the NYPD. But there's a couple reasons why that may be the case. Europe and Asia are one of the main places where small CC scooters like this really shine, and a lot of countries there implement what's called a multi-tiered licensing system. In Italy, for example, that's where this bike was made. They have 4 different motorcycle license tiers. When you turn 14, you unlock the pure bliss of riding a motorcycle for the first time by getting your AM license. This basically allows you to ride 50cc mopeds and scooters like the ones behind me. When you turn 16, you get your A1 license, which allows you to ride bikes up to 125 cc's. For your 18th birthday, you get an A2 license, which upgrades you to bikes up to 35 kilowatts or 47 horsepower. And then finally, once you turn the big 20, the 2.0, you get your A license, which basically allows you to ride whatever the heck you want. Most of the bikes that fit into the AM and A1 category are scooters like this. So basically everyone is forced to ride a scooter like this from the ages of 14 to 18. Now in America, on the other hand, we have a concept called freedom. The minute you turn 16, you can throw your leg over a Kawasaki Ninja H2 and let all of that 240 horsepower rip on the back roads on the way to your friend's house to go eat pizza, play Halo, and talk about girls. Now don't get me wrong, there are some restrictions in America. Until you turn 18, you can't ride with a passenger, you can't ride during nighttime hours, and you can't ride on main interstates or highways. But other than that, there's really no restrictions on the size of the bike you ride or how much power it makes. And I believe that alone is the main reason why beautiful scooters like this are not that popular here. Would you rather pull up to your high school parking lot trying to impress Bethany before first period looking like this or looking like this? I rest my case. Now, I'm probably in the minority here, but I see this as a problem because two-stroke scooters, in my opinion, are some of the most fun bikes to ride, to work on, and definitely to modify. And the difference with the US and the rest of the world, like Italy, for example, they ride scooters through the most formative years of their life. From 14 to 18, they're riding with their friends, modding their scooters in the garage, trying to get one more horsepower out of that small 50cc engine so they can make wheeling a little bit easier and be the cool guy. And there's a level of nostalgia that someone like that brings to their adult life when they have big boy money, which leads them to buy bigger, faster, full-size scooters or spending a bunch of money modifying the same old 50cc two-stroke bikes into absolute rocket ships. So the Piaggio here, the Typhoon, the 50cc purebred Italian stallion. Why is this the scooter that you should buy? Let's get into it. Now, there are 5 main reasons why I believe the Piaggio Typhoon is the ultimate 50cc two-stroke scooter. And coming in at number 1, it has to be the build quality. If there's one place in the world that can claim the crown as the king of motorsports, it's Italy. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Ducati. For years, Italy has been at the top of the food chain when it comes to pushing the boundaries of automotive engineering. And Piaggio Group is no different. With brands like Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Gilera, Derby, Piaggio, and Vespa, Piaggio Group has been designing and manufacturing quality motorcycles since April of 1946, when they transitioned from aircraft after World War II to a business model surrounding affordable transportation. Vespa was an immediate success and helped Piaggio create a name for itself as a manufacturer of high-quality, thoughtfully designed, and good-looking motorcycles. And the Typhoon is no different. When comparing this bike to the other 50cc two-stroke scooters available in the USA, like the Honda Elite or Yamaha Zuma, it's very apparent that this bike is much higher quality. The plastics all around the bike feel much thicker and sturdier, and even though mine has been dropped, there are no signs of the plastics cracking or falling apart. I definitely can't say the same about my Honda Elite. The gauge cluster has a speedometer, a working fuel gauge, and even a built-in clock, all with a really cool subtle Typhoon font in the background. And the seat is much larger and more comfortable than my Elite, which is another huge bonus. All around, this bike feels like a legit motorcycle when I sit on it, compared to my other scooters, which kind of feel like toys. And that brings me to the second reason. Oh shoot, my screen went black. Hey, wait a minute, I know what this is. Now before we go any further, I want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Cooper. Cooper is a free browser extension designed to help consumers like me and you save money when shopping online. All you have to do is download the Cooper extension, register an account, and you're free to start shopping. And today, since we're talking about the Typhoon back there, I went ahead and put together a nice build list for this thing, and we're gonna see if Cooper can save us some money. All you have to do is go ahead and click apply coupons, and Cooper is gonna find the best coupon code possible to save you money on your cart. And just like that, we saved 48 big ones going right back in my pocket. There's a lot of other cool features like cash back on a bunch of major online stores, and also a price comparison tool that lets you see the price of the item you're looking at on all the competing websites to make sure that you're getting the best deal possible. And honestly, that's pretty cool. With 6 million weekly desktop users and 3 million mobile users, people are out here saving money. And you can too, by clicking the link in the description, downloading the Cooper extension, and using it for yourself. Now let's get back to the video. And that brings me to the second reason, the brakes and suspension. Welcome to MotoGP, one of the toughest and most taxing forms of motorcycle racing, where the teams literally spend millions of dollars to build the best bike possible. There's a gold standard of braking systems used on all of these bikes, and it's Brembo. Who would have thought? Another Italian manufacturer creating top-of-the-line performance parts. And guess what? Piaggio decided that this 50cc scooter should come factory with Brembo disc brakes. Most manufacturers would say that's a little over the top for a bike like this, but Piaggio said, "Yes! That's awesome!" And did it anyway. The front suspension is a hydraulic, telescopic, upside-down fork made by Showa. And if you don't know, those are the same type of forks used by Honda and Kawasaki on their motocross bikes. Now this braking and suspension combo once again sets the Piaggio Typhoon miles above the other 50cc scooters it competes with in the US. If you've ever ridden an Elite, a Zuma, a Yamaha Jog, anything in that category, hitting a pebble the wrong way might bottom out the front suspension. And with the Typhoon, you don't have to worry about it. Number 3. Out-of-the-box performance. So the first thing off the bat that I noticed about this bike, being that this is a stock 50cc scooter, I didn't expect it to be that fast. You know, my Honda Elite, really the top speed of it in its stock form was around like 28 miles per hour. It seriously, even going downhill, the thing wouldn't push more than 30 miles an hour. And that's what blew me away about this Piaggio Typhoon. This thing in stock form, I'm cruising 40 right now. I'm not even pushing it. So the engine on this bike is really just designed for higher speeds, which is crazy because the majority of the scooters in America that were sold and really around the world, they're designed to have a low top speed because they're supposed to be beginner bikes. These are basically made for people who are just getting their motorcycle license, 15 years old, 16 years old. But this one, I don't know if it's been de-restricted or what, but it's fast. We'll have to do a top speed test in this video just to see what exactly the top speed is, because I'll tell you what, this thing has no problem. All right, I got the GPS going in my pocket. We're about to hit a little bit of a straight downhill here and see how fast this thing can go. Open it up right here, 45. Flat ground, we're climbing to 50. It only goes to 50 on the speedometer, but as you can see, we're slowly climbing above that. Full tuck here. Dang, son. 52.4 miles per hour. So it's safe to say the speedometer might be a little bit off, but honestly, on a stock 50cc two-stroke scooter, in a lot of states you don't even need a motorcycle license to ride one of these, so I don't know how much more you could ask for. That is pretty good performance. Number 4, the engine. So right off the bat, the main reason why I bought this bike myself is because of this motor. It's a Piaggio Hyper 2. And if you're unfamiliar with the scooter world, this Hyper 2 motor has some of the craziest aftermarket support I've ever seen for any sort of two-stroke tunable motor. This thing in Europe, in Italy, overseas, they build these things like crazy. Overseas, there's a lot more of these bikes, and I think the Hyper 2 motor came in a lot of different Piaggio scooters, more than just the Typhoon. But in America, we only got it in the Typhoon here. So if you pick one of these up, you're getting an extremely good platform for tuning a two-stroke. Earlier in the video, I showed a cart I put together on maxiscoot.com full of aftermarket parts that I hope to use to build this bike someday. Carburetors, variators, exhaust, cylinders, crankshafts, just about any aftermarket performance parts you can imagine are available for the Piaggio Hyper 2. And fully building one of these engines can get you some mind-boggling results. That's really the main reason why I bought this bike. I wanted to have the platform because I knew that this motor has so much potential. It's crazy. You can easily spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on just building one of these motors. If you want to see somebody who shows a lot of potential that these Hyper 2 motors have, go check out Dirt Bike Rods on Instagram. This guy builds these motors into absolute ripping machines. It's crazy. He's the main reason why I wanted to find a Typhoon, is because he knows how to build these motors like no one else I've seen in the United States. So that's really my end goal for this bike, is to build up this motor into something crazy. I will say, this is the first scooter that I've ever had where I didn't feel the need to modify it right away. Honda Elite or a Yamaha Zuma, something like that. Those are 50cc two-stroke scooters where stock form you're getting around 30, 35 miles an hour. It's just not really practical in the real world. But this thing, I'm on a pretty steep hill right now. It'll cruise 35 uphill, but flat ground, it's cruising 50 all day. And finally, part 5, the cool factor. Now trust me guys, I know. Right now, the popular thing is to get a 20-year finance deal on an R7 and do TikTok dances at every red light. But I'm here to offer an alternative. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. You don't need to be like everyone else. You just need to be yourself. Confidence was never about fitting in. It's about owning who you are, even when no one else does.